Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today's Friday, June 26, 2020. Today I'm going to talk about the NBA finalizing its plan to return. The KBO will look back on this morning's games, look ahead to the weekend's games. Soccer will recap the games from yesterday, look ahead to today and the weekend's games. NASCAR will pick the winners of the 3 races being held this weekend in the Poconos. We'll go over the golf leaderboard. Talk about the NHL draft lottery that's going on tonight, the Celebrity Watch Party episode from yesterday, and my 2013 Top 10 albums. All right, we'll start with the NBA finalizing its return plan. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted it out that the NBA has finalized its return plan, and the comprehensive plan for the July 30th restart at Disney World has been finalized, and the schedule will be released tonight. So that is really good news for the NBA. I guess Adam Silver trusts the doctors in that hub in Disney. Coronavirus cases are going up in Florida by the day, and it's mostly in that Tampa area. So Orlando is not far from there, and Orlando did see somewhat of a spike too, but I guess Silver's trusting his guys and his doctors and stuff. So let's see if this all ends up working out. I think the fact that they're in a hub absolutely works, and I'm looking forward to seeing the schedule, and I'm looking forward to see who has an easy path to go to the postseason, who has a rough path in terms of those teams that are currently on the outside looking in, like the Wizards and the Pelicans and the Spurs and the teams like that. So that should be very interesting to see. And Woj also reported today that 16 NBA players have tested positive for the coronavirus of 302 players tested. So if you do the math here, 16 divided by 302, it's about 5.3% of the players tested positive of those 302. So 5% is not bad. And then Woj also said that the league announced those results. And then Woj reported the other day, but I just forgot to mention this, or it might have been Shams, that Mavericks backup center Willie Cauley-Stein will not participate in the NBA's restart. The player they signed to take his roster spot, guard Trey Burke, who has bounced around the NBA throughout his career. We all know him as this great guard in college from Michigan, and he just never panned out to what people expected him to be. And the irony here is that he is reunited with his college teammate, Tim Hardaway Jr., and they were obviously the starting backcourt at Michigan early last decade. So that's a fun little subplot. Cauley-Stein was just a role player for the Mavs. They do have more big men on the roster than you would think, or guys that are capable of playing center. They have Boban Marjanovic, who's obviously tall and can just dunk on people. He's just a fun player to watch. Obviously, they have Porzingis. They got, I'm blanking on his name. Dorian Finney-Smith, who's more of like a wing player. And same with Maxi Kleber. Maxi Kleber can play some 5. They got a couple centers, so I think that they'll miss Cauley-Stein for production off the bench. But they do have a gain in the backcourt for a bench option in Trey Burke, as they have him. They have Seth Curry, who sometimes starts for the Mavs. Obviously Hardaway, but he's more of a small forward now, but he was more of a 2-guard in college. So I think the Mavs could potentially be a sleeper as long as Porzingis is healthy and Doncic is healthy. I think that team could absolutely be a sleeper in the Western Conference to surprise during its comeback. So We'll obviously look at the schedule once it's out on Monday's podcast. And obviously, the MLB schedule is supposed to come out shortly as well. So, Monday's podcast is set up to be absolutely loaded. Now I'm going to go over the results from the KBO from yesterday and look ahead to the games for the weekend. So obviously, new series is started today. NC over Doosan 9-3. SK over LG 7-0. Hanwha over KT 7-4. Kia over Kaiwoom 8-6. Samsung over Lotte 6-4. And then tomorrow, all 4 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 o'clock p.m. in Korea, you have the Eagles hosting the Wiz. You have the Tigers at the Heroes, the Lions at the Giants, the Twins at the Wyverns, and the Dinos at the Bears. And then 4 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, you have all the same matches. In terms of picks, I think that KT will sweep Hanwha. I think Kia and Kaiwoom will split. I think Samsung and Lotte will split. I think that LG will sweep SK, and NC and Doosan will split as well. And a quick look at the standings before the weekend. The Dinos are 31-13. The Heroes are 28-18, 4 back of the Dinos, 5 back in the loss column. The Bears are 27-18, tied in the loss column with Kaiwoom. The Tigers are 24-19. They are 1 back in the loss column of Doosan, but 2 back overall. The Twins are 25-20. They are technically tied with the Tigers in the standings, but the Twins have played 2 more games. The Lions are 23-23, so they're at 500. They're playing a lot better. They've been the most improved team in the KBO over the last couple of weeks. So they're 500, and they are 2.5 back of the Twins, 3 back in the loss column. Lotte's 21-22. They're a half game back of Samsung, 1 back in the loss column. The Wiz are 19-26. They are 3 back of the Giants and 4 back in the loss column. The Wyverns are 14-31. They are 5 back of the Wiz, and the Eagles are 12-34. They are 2.5 games back of the Wyverns. All right, so now I'm going to look at the soccer as we head into the weekend and look back on yesterday's games. I'm going to start at the Premier League as I normally would. So yesterday's results. Arsenal over Southampton 2-0. Burnley over Watford 1-0. And Chelsea upsets Manchester City 2-1. You got one game tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You have Aston Villa against the Wolves. The Wolves are going to crush Aston Villa. I think this is a multi-goal game. The Wolves are much better. So I'm going to say that the Wolves win like 3-0. And then on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, you have Watford and Southampton. Neither of these teams are very good. But if I had to make a pick, though, I'm going to go for the draw for this one. I don't normally predict draws, but this one just screams draw to me. So I'm going to go with the Wolves tomorrow morning, and then Sunday morning, a Watford-Southampton draw. And now La Liga. We'll go over the 2 results from yesterday, look ahead to the weekend and today. Eibar over Valencia 1-0, and Real Betis over Espanyol 1-0. And oh, by the way, Liverpool clinched the Premier League yesterday with the Man City loss. That's what I forgot to mention when I was doing Premier League. So back to La Liga. Today, 4 o'clock Eastern, you have Sevilla and Valladolid. for this game, I am going to go with Sevilla at home. They're much better than Valladolid, and I expect them to win by multiple goals. Big day tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Time in the morning. The Athletic Club against Mallorca. I'm going to go with the Athletic Club there, and I think that could be a closer game than people expect, maybe a one-goal game. Celta Vigo against Barcelona, no doubt about it. I'm going with Barcelona. They're the second best team in the La Liga, tied in points with Real Madrid. So I'm going to go with Barcelona over Celta Vigo. 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow afternoon, Osasuna against Leganes. I'm going to go with Osasuna there. They're just better. So I'm going to go with Osasuna. 4 o'clock Eastern tomorrow afternoon, Atletico Madrid against Alaves. I am going to go with Atletico Madrid. They're the better team. Although I think this could be a somewhat competitive match. 4 more games for Sunday in La Liga. Levante against Real Betis, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. This match, I'm going to go with the draw. These two teams are pretty even. I think this is like the safest bet for a draw during this weekend of La Liga. So I'm going to go with Levante and Real Betis draw. Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, you have Villarreal against Valencia. I'm going to go with the draw here as well. I think both of these teams are pretty even. But if I had the lean aside, it would be Villarreal. But I am going to go with the draw here. Granada and Eibar. I'm going to go with Granada here for the win. They're just a better ball club and they're home. And then 4 o'clock Eastern on Sunday afternoon is Espanyol and Real Madrid. This is a layup. Real Madrid's going to kick their butt 6-0. I could totally see this game turning out to be. So that's a no-brainer selection for me. And now Bundesliga for tomorrow. You have pretty much everybody playing. All games are at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning. Union Berlin against Dusseldorf. I'm going to go with Union Berlin here, but I don't feel good about it. And they're home. Mönchengladbach against Hertha. I think this could be a little closer than people think, but I am going to go with the better team at home, and that is Mönchengladbach. Wolfsburg and Bayern. This is going to be a good match. I think this is a better match than people are giving credit to. I won't be dumbfounded if this is a draw, but Bayern's just better, so I'm going to take Bayern to win. Eintracht Frankfurt against Paderborn. Eintracht Frankfurt is just better. Paderborn's the worst team in Bundesliga, so I'm going to go with Eintracht Frankfurt at home to win. Werder and 1FC Köln. Neither of these teams are very good. I'm going to go with the draw here. SC Freiburg and Schalke. This is a tough call. A very tough call. I'm going to go with SC Freiburg, but I think it'll be very close. And I won't be shocked if they win it late. Leverkusen and Mainz. Mainz coming off an impressive win in their last time out, but Leverkusen's a much better team and they are home. Dortmund and Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim is disappointing in its defeat against Mainz. Dortmund's just better. I like them to win this match by multiple goals at home. And last but not least, Augsburg and RB Leipzig. The easy pick here is RB Leipzig. They're way better than Augsburg. So I think they're going to win this match going away on the road. Now I'm going to do NASCAR for the weekend. There are 3 races, 2 Sprint Cup or Cup Series races in Pocono, one tomorrow, one on Sunday, and then the Xfinity Series race is on Sunday. The starting lineup for the race tomorrow afternoon in Pocono, 3 o'clock on Fox. Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Alec Bowman, Martin Truex Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Tyler Reddick, Liam Byron, Austin Dillon, Clint Bowyer, Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, Matt DiBenedetto, Matt Kenseth, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Cole Custer, Michael McDowell, Brendan Poole, Joey Gase, Corey LaJoie, Ryan Preece, Garrett Smithley, Quinn Houff, J.J. Yeley, Ty Dillon, James Davison, Christopher Bell, Daniel Suarez, Timmy Hill, B.J. McLeod, and Josh Bilicki. I'm going to give you 2 picks. We don't know the starting lineup for Sunday, but we know the starting lineup for tomorrow, and I think tomorrow's race winner will be Kyle Busch. I think he's due. He hasn't won in a couple weeks. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's won a race since the sport came back, and he's had success here throughout the years. So I'm going to go with Kyle Busch for race number 1. Race number 2, I'm going to go with another driver that's been around a while, one of the best ones in the sport, and somebody that has done very well since the restart, and I think has won a couple races, and that's Denny Hamlin. He's had good success here. I think he's going to win on Sunday, and I'm going to go with Kyle Busch on Saturday. I thought about Joey Logano. I thought about Brad Keselowski. I thought about Jimmy Johnson because he's just flat out due. But my 2 picks for the weekend, I'm going with 2 of the best 5 drivers in the world, Kyle Busch on Saturday and Denny Hamlin on Sunday. And then the Xfinity Series starting lineup is not out yet, so I'm just going to give out a pick. I'm going to go with somebody that has been racing very well recently in Xfinity. He's won a race since the return, and that is Harrison Burton. I really like how he's been racing. He's providing good results. I thought about some other guys. I thought about AJ Allmendinger. I thought about a few other decent Xfinity drivers such as Chase Briscoe, who's the favorite at plus 240, Austin Cindric 4-1, Noah Gragson, Justin Allgaier. I thought about Ross Chastain, but ultimately I'm going to go with Harrison Burton. He's 9-1. And by the way, Kyle Busch on DraftKings is plus 450. So that is a little bit overvalued, but that's just my pick to win the race. So I'm going to go with Kyle Busch at plus 450 to win tomorrow's race. And I don't know what Denny Hamlin's odds for Sunday are going to be, but Denny Hamlin's 7-1 to win tomorrow's race. Now I'm going to do golf and look at the leaderboard for the Travelers Championship. As of right now, your leader is Will Gordon. That's a very unexpected leader. In second place, you have Mackenzie Hughes, who's teeing off any minute. Xander Schauffele is in a third place tie with Brendan Steele. In a fifth place tie, you have Rory McIlroy. You have Russell Henley. You have Kevin Streelman, Kang Sung Hoon, Zach Johnson, Kevin Na, Victor Hovland, and Patton Kizzire. That's a surprise. In the 13th place tie, you have Michael Thompson. You have Dustin Johnson. You have Wesley Bryan. And you have Tyler Duncan. In the 17th place tie, that's pretty big, Sergio Garcia, who's tipping off any minute, as well as No Seung Yul. Also in that tie, you got Lucas Glover. You have Sam Burns in the tie for 27th. You have Phil Mickelson. You have Brian Gay. You have Joel Dahman. In the tie for 38th, you have Ryan Palmer. You have John Rahm. You have Roger Sloan. You have Jordan Spieth, Ian Poulter. In the tie for 55th, you have Shane Lowry. You have Matthew Wolff and Adam Long. Bubba Watson. In the tie for 75th, you have Daniel Lee. You have Gary Woodland in there. You have Matthew Fitzpatrick among notables, as well as Im Sung Jae and Kim Si-woon. In the tie for 92nd, you have Scotty Scheffler. You have Patrick Reed, JT Poston, Corey Connors, Jason Kokrak. Notables in the tie for 108th, you got Justin Rose. And you have David Pastor. There's a tie for 120th as well. Nobody really relevant in there. Justin Thomas is in a tie for 131st. That's disappointing for him. There's so many people with expectations for him for this tournament. There's a big tie for 139th and 149th. And obviously we'll go over how this tournament plays out on Monday's podcast. Tonight is the NHL Draft Lottery Part 1. It's very complicated to explain, but I'm going to go over what Bob McKenzie said about this draft lottery. So, without further ado, here we go. The NHL Draft Lottery goes Friday night at 8 p.m. This year's lottery is taking place at the NHL Network Studios in New Jersey, and Catherine Tappan of NBC Sports, or NHL and NBC Sports, will host the half-hour show. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman and Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly will be live in studio. Bettman will oversee the lottery ball drawing. It will be scrutinized by an auditor from Ernst & Young. Because of COVID-19 concerns, no NHL club reps will be in sequestered lottery drawing area. A full video of the ping pong ball drawing will be posted online after the show ends. Top draft prospect Alexis Lafreniere will be a part of the 30-minute show remotely from his home in Quebec. Community heroes and frontline workers from each of the 6 known NHL clubs in the lottery will remotely act as cheering sections from their hometown teams. So the wild card in this is that there's really 7 because there's 31 teams, but there's 6 because the San Jose Sharks don't have their first round pick. Ottawa does. Ottawa has 2 first round picks. They look better for trading Erik Karlsson now than they did when they did it back in 2000. I believe it was 18. So that's crazy. And then McKenzie also says, this, of course, is a lottery like no other. Ultimately, there are 15 non-playoff teams, but Ottawa owns San Jose's first-round picks, so only 14 teams hold the 15 picks. Numbers 1, 2, 3 picks, as usual, are available to be won in the lottery, but we only know the identity of 6 teams. The 6 teams and their percent odds are the Detroit Red Wings, 18.5, Ottawa, 13.5 from their own pick, and the Sharks pick 11.5. The Kings, 9.5. Anaheim, 8.5. Devils, 7.5. Buffalo, 6.5. Ottawa, obviously, with a combined 25% chance at having the best odds. They can thank San Jose for that. Remaining odds, teams A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H have respective 6, 5, 3.5, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5, and 1% chance. If none of the alpha designated unknown teams, those which lose the 2020 play-in qualifier, win a top 3 overall pick, Bill Daly's countdown with flipping cards will start at number 7. If one of those 8 unknown teams gets a top 3 pick, the countdown flip will start at 8. If 2 of the 8 unknown teams win a top 3 pick in the draw, countdown flipping starts at 9. If 3 of the 8 unknown teams win all 3 top picks, well, there won't be much of a countdown. New top 3 would be unknown until a second draft lottery after the play-in qualifier. In that latter scenario, where all 3 top picks go to unknown teams, picks 4 through 10 would be in the same ordering of the 6 known teams pre-lottery. That is Detroit, Ottawa via San Jose, LA, Anaheim, New Jersey, and Buffalo. And like I said earlier, the half-hour draft lottery show will air in this country on NBCSN at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, immediately following at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on NBCSN. Liam McHugh, along with Keith Jones and Patrick Sharp, will have a half-hour show to review the lottery and preview potential matchups for the return to play. At the very least, after tomorrow or tonight's draft lottery, we'll know the draft slots for 6 known teams. Detroit, Ottawa for 2 picks, Kings, Ducks, Devils, Sabres, and there's a 75.5% chance we will know which team is picking number 1 overall. So there you have it, the preview of the draft lottery tonight. In terms of a prediction, I think that it's going to be rigged for Detroit. I think that the league wants one of their original 6 teams that was a dumpster fire this past year to be good again. But then again, I had that same theory in the NBA last year that they were going to rig it for the Knicks so they can get Zion Williamson. That did not work out. So I think my theory will apply here for an original 6 team. And if Detroit doesn't get it, then it's not rigged and it's real. And we learned that in the NBA last year with their lottery, and how the Knicks are another big market team did not win the Zion Williamson sweepstakes, because the Lakers came close. That would have been really rigged. The Bulls had a shot, but they dropped in the lottery from 6 to 9. That was a disaster for that team. Although they did wind up picking Kobe White, or they went from 4 to 7. I thought it was 6 to 9, but it went from 4 or 5 to 7. But it worked out. They got Kobe White. So it did end up working out in their favor. So yeah, I do think the Red Wings won the lottery, and my prediction is that a team that's in the qualifying round will end up with pick number 2, and Ottawa's own pick will be 3, and so forth. So I think the only change is that a random team that's in the an unknown team that's in the qualifying round will end up being number 2 in the lottery. But yeah, that is very confusing, and I think they'll do a lottery for those eliminated teams once after they're eliminated. It'll probably be teams like the Canadiens. Maybe that's who they have their eye on if it's really rigged. Or somebody like the Blackhawks who could lose in that round as well. That I could conceivably see that unknown team being. So there you have it. My prediction for tonight is that the Red Wings win the draft lottery. An unknown team gets the 2 spot. And the 3 spot will be Ottawa for their own. And then the San Jose pick will be number 4. So there you have it. My predictions for the draft lottery. Now I'm going to recap last night's episode of Celebrity Watch Party. It was interesting, I thought, and obviously, it's the same cast and characters normally each and every week. The theme of the episode was the Father's Day Watch Party. Curtis Stone and Lindsay Price, JoJo Siwa and Mom, Reggie and Lilith Bush, Raven Simone, Madej and her friends, the Buck family, the Osbournes, Tyra Banks and Mom, and Steve and Janet Wozniak. Shows and segments watched included America's Got Talent, Good Morning America on Shark's Hair, Sex and the City, Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern, Night on Earth, Good Morning America on Juneteenth, and Dads. But yeah, the Juneteenth thing was predictable. I think that Dads was predictable. Sex and the City was interesting. And Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern was a interesting choice as well. 2 episodes left. No episode this Thursday because it's 4th of July weekend. And the last 2 episodes will be on July 9th and July 16th, respectively. And now I'm going to do my 2013 top 10 albums. Before I do the top 10, I have one honorable mention. The 2020 Experience, Part 1 of 2 from Justin Timberlake that had 3 good singles on it, including his hit song, Suit and Tie. And now, without further ado, the top 10 albums of 2013. 10th place, my choice, Miley Cyrus, Bangers. A really good album by one of the more underrated singers in this era, in my mind. 3 singles, We Can't Stop, Wrecking Ball, and Adore You. 9th place, Midnight Memories, One Direction. Came out November of 2013. 4 singles, best song ever, Story of My Life, Midnight Memories, and You and I. 8th place, The 2020 Experience, Part 2 of 2 from Justin Timberlake. Came out September of 2013. 4 singles, Take Back the Night, TKO, Not a Bad Thing, and Drink You Away. In 7th place, Blurred Lines, Robin Thicke. An awesome album that I don't think gets the love that it deserves. Came out July of 2013. The lead single, Blurred Lines, For the Rest of My Life, Give It to You, and Feel Good were the rest of the 3 singles other than Blurred Lines. In 6th place, the Marshall Mathers LP2, Eminem, November 5th, 2013. It came out. 5 singles, Berserk, Survival, Rap God, The Monster, and Headlights. 5th place, True, Avicii. Came out in September of 2013. 5 singles, You Wake Me Up, You Make Me, Hey Brother, Addicted to You, and Lay Me Down. 4th place, Prism, Katy Perry. Came out in October of 2018. 5 radio singles, Roar, Unconditionally, Dark Horse, Birthday, and This Is How We Do. 3rd place, Fuse, Keith Urban. A good country album cracking this list. Came out in September of 2013. Little Bit of Everything, Shame, We Were Us, Cop Car, Somewhere in My Car, and Raise 'Em Up. 2nd place, Crash My Party, Luke Bryan. Came out in August of 2013. 6 singles, Crash My Party, That's My Kind of Night, Drink a Beer, Play It Again, Roller Coaster, and I See You. And number 1 album of 2013, Nothing Was the Same by Drake. September of 2013 it came out. 7 singles, Started from the Bottom, Hold On, We're Going Home, All Me, Pound Cake, The Language, Too Much, and Worst Behavior. So there you have it, my 2013 top 10 albums. That's it for the podcast today. On Monday, we'll be back recapping the sports over the weekend, soccer, KBO, NASCAR, golf. We'll look at the NBA, and if the MLB schedule's out, we'll look at that too. We'll go over the NHL draft lottery. Maybe I'll hold off my 2013 top 10 NFL players and games to Tuesday. But that's assuming if we get both the NBA and the MLB schedule. If we get just the NBA, then we'll do the 2013 NFL top 10 players and games on Monday as scheduled. So, hope you guys have a great weekend, everybody.